Why does a new home cost so much? It's not just labor, not just materials. There's a fee that can add $40,000 to $100,000, even more, to the price of a single home. And most people have never heard of it. It's called a development charge, and depending on where you live, it can decide whether housing gets built or not. Because this one policy tool has a bigger impact on housing than most people realize, and once you understand it, the whole market starts to look different. Think of development charges as growth fees. When new housing goes up, cities need to manage the costs that come with growth. So municipalities charge developers up front to help fund these costs. Here's where it starts to hit home. These costs don't just stay with developers. They show up in rents, home prices, and even in whether projects move forward at all.
In some cities, development charges make up between 8 to 16% of the price of a new home. At that level, they can make or break a project.
Until now, comparing these fees across cities was surprisingly hard. So CMHC built a new data set with 40 municipalities across 4 provinces, all in one standardized view. We used AI to pull the data from municipal bylaws and then checked it with analysts in municipalities. So instead of scattered information, we finally have a clear, apples-to-apples picture. And this is just the beginning of a broader push to modernize housing data in Canada. So what did we find? A few things really stood out. The biggest one is just how uneven these fees are.
For a 2-bedroom apartment, charges ranges from about $40,000 in Ottawa to $122,000 in Markham. That's more than 3 times higher. And for a single detached home, they go from $125,000 in Pickering to over $180,000 in Toronto. That kind of gap can actually shift where developers choose to build and where people choose to live. And part of the reason is that every region calculates these fees differently. Some charge per unit, others per acre. And in places like Montreal, development charges can be tied directly to new transit projects. Some cities also delay fees to encourage rental housing construction.
As mentioned earlier, development charges can even be the difference between a project moving ahead or not. So what happens if you bring them down? We tested that using a tool we developed called the Housing Development Viability Analyzer.
What we found was pretty simple. Small cuts, around 10 to 20%, don't move the needle all that much. You only see a slight increase in projects going ahead. But bigger cuts start to change things. And the impact is strongest where charges are high and where financial conditions are tight. In cities like Toronto and Vancouver, cutting charges in half made about 5% more projects viable. And in some places, removing them entirely pushed that up to around 14%. In Toronto alone, that could mean 10,000 to 16,000 more homes built every year. So the pattern is clear. The higher the fees, the bigger the impact when you reduce them.
So you might be thinking, why not just lower them across the board? The challenge is that development charges now play a significant role in municipal finance. Reducing them creates a gap that cities will need to address. It's a real balancing act. What this data shows is that development charges aren't just a line item. They're a force shaping both housing costs and supply. And if we're serious about affordability, this is something we can't ignore.